Waiting and anticipating the Swedes to push into his crosshairs. Ipex now making moves through over on the B side, leaving Device by himself, but Fnatic have already spilled out onto the site, looking to try and get the plant down, and successfully endeavor just that. Magix, though, takes the head of Golden in amongst the process, and JW tries to get up close with the Glock, but misses a couple of bullets, and that could prove very costly and fatal for the rest of the troops. Crims, though, holding on for dear life with the Glock, gets in with 2 big headshots, and as ever, Crims is the bastion of hope for Fnatic. So, from Fnatic's perspective, JW getting out up close, yet to get any kills or deaths. He hasn't really been required with all the aggression alongside him. Golden makes sure that the head of Glaive has been removed, but Zipex putting that Eagle to use, gets a second as well onto JW, tanked down to a measly 1 HP, so even with just a Deeg, they're making this costly. Post-plant comes in, and this is where the 2 AKs and MAC-10 should just rip and shred through the remainder of the CTs. The underarm grenade baskets Zipex. And that leaves it down to Device with a measly P250.
Yeah. I'm just saddened you missed a Rip and Tear reference with that spread instead. And
taking the initiative, getting outside already, trying to get up close and personal with Astralis, can hear the footsteps to his left-hand side, can see Mages, finally executes onto him, but pivots back into Glaive, who is joined by Dupree. And between the two of them, they have fended off this push, but only for a few more moments before JW pulls the trigger and gives Fnatic the advantage one more time. Just shy of a minute on the clock, and Fnatic are weighing up their options. Flash out into Device. You can stay on the site. Knows his back is covered from Ivy. Glaive has that watched. Additionally, second player coming up through Connector will be Zipex. May not be required because Device is doing it all alone. The AWP is just landing shots left and right. Oh, so easy for the Dane. And now Golden, 1-on-3 with the AK, gets sprayed down at range, and Astralis finally get their first round. They're getting up there quickly, but all they're doing is running into bullets, a little bit more velocity, and Dupree puts the M4 to use. Those bullets sing for him. And the symphony of destruction for Fnatic is pretty much at its conclusion. Crims and JW, your last 2 men standing, but they have no grenades between the 2 of them. No flashes or smokes to bust out here. And it's looking like it will be a foregone conclusion. I say that though, but both Crims and JW, the veterans of Fnatic, come out with a bit of vigor, a bit of aggression. And they both get a kill. Yeah, this is where his reputation definitely precedes him. You expect him to win, but he's about to get flanked from JW. The timing could be everything, and JW, not for the first time in the round, blinds.
Hey guys, check out Gamdom. Gamdom is a website where you can play plenty of different games, such as Crash, Roulette, Hyla, and many other. You can make your deposit with bank card, gift card, cryptocurrency, or player to player. Of course, you can use the same method to withdraw, including skins. Gamdom has huge skins inventory, where I'm pretty sure you can find a skin you really like. Here is an example how I bet $5 on Crash and managed to multiply by 5. Make sure to use code FLATO to get your bonus. The link to Gamdom will be in the description below.
Decent grenade damage, but they're going to have to follow it up with some Deagles and the Mag-7. Well, scratch the Mag-7, Zipex has just been removed, and with him the Mag-7 will follow. Dupree, though, with his Deagle. We had him on the highlight, the head-to-head for his rifling, but his Deagle is definitely no slouch. Magix dropped to 1 HP, but Device is using the close angle of the box holes, hoping to get the off angle, hoping to get that first pick, and they jump into him. He finishes off Crims, who gets splattered by the Deagle, and now the upgraded AK comes into play. This round is certainly not done just yet. Jaquinho going in for the white swing, gets punished by Device with the AK, and now JW is stuck between 3 players, can't get it done. And Astralis steal and snatch away this round out of thin air. Flashbang is good. Jaquinho has been tagged down to 13. The smoke on CT. Connector will make this a little bit more of a dangerous affair for the CTs to spill out in, but the fact that they've taken down Jaquinho is huge. That player up close has been dealt the fatal blow. And now the 3v5 takes shape. Dupree is waiting in the wings for the green light to go in for the flank, and this is the ace up the sleeve, but JW is ripping this round away. He's put all his chips on the table. He's gone all in. And Golden tagged down to a measly 8 HP, maybe called upon to clutch this yet. JW is still in there, still trying his best to salvage this round and gets yet another one. We said he's been a bit weak as of late, but this would be a beautiful moment to step up. Yep, falling into place nicely. Both the AWPs are having quite a lot of success. Magisk may have missed that shot, but doesn't get punished. At least not for the time being. And Crims, who's on 2 HP, gets slam dunked by Xyp9x. So a clean sweep of a round. Oh, peeking up before the flash has gone off Jaquinho. You just gift wrap that across the device, and they're just going to be spilling in one by one. Device will not miss these chances. He's at the buffet, and he's devouring Fnatic without any issues at all. 15 kills already, make it 16, why not? And the smoke keeps him alive from upper, make it 17, and he could even finish it off, and he does with a beautiful ace. That is why we highlighted him as one of the best. Aggression from Glaive, yields the kill onto Golden. And with only pistols alongside Fnatic, there's not really much they can do about this. Broad's already spilled outside, but yeah, down into the 2v2 here, Dust, and now Magisk and Dupree gotta try and salvage and remedy the situation somehow, some way. Fnatic have clawed their way back into this round. And Jaquinho with 3 kills to his name. Maybe silence is suppressed by Magisk, who doesn't have any grenades at his disposal. JW may have no Kevlar, but he has the drop, has missed the first few bullets. Magisk just needs to tickle the bomb, draw JW out into the opening. Looks like he may have done enough with time, and JW spraying into the head of Magisk. Dust, apparently, we cannot hear you. May need to reconnect to the audio program and stuff. I'll just carry on this until the problem is resolved. Apologies for that, ladies and gents. Some technical issues over here. I'm not crazy. I've not been talking to myself the whole time. I promise you. And I'll crit out 23 HP. But it's one of those players that has been eerily quiet. Raw potential off the charts. One of the best players on the planet when he's feeling like it, but he's run into another one. And Device is posted up close, so you can get that early intel. Fall back. This is where the other elements of Magisk may start to come in. And Magisk has landed the headshot. 35 seconds to play with, and Crims goes in.
But I don't know if you heard it. Feels bad.
It's alright, I'm just crazy.
I'll just go stand
I'm
in the
just
corner.
talking to myself the whole time, just having conversations with myself. It's all good. Csgo is going to be putting the bullet down range. Glaive pivots in for their second frag onto JW. Beautiful spray transfer. And that leaves PROLEAGUE in the blink of an eye in a 1-on-4. And while his eyes have been closed, Magisk any extra advantages. They're already the massive favorites coming into this game. Device waiting on the back of Grey Train. Smoke's now being put down range, as is Jaquinho. Courtesy of Glaive, Device is bypassing the smokes, and then will now show his hand with the CZ, and of course he cleans up. And a molly on top of it. Only the one unit of Golden that's moving through on Ivy. He's already been dealt with, and now Xyp9x may be called upon to repel the push on B. Now, of course, they don't care about a post plant. It's the last round of the half, so they're completely fine with falling back, allowing the T's to spill in, to leave themselves vulnerable, and to get picked off left and right. Magisk puts a bullet down range, connects the frag, and even though it's a post plant, it's a 5-on-3. Good shot from Brolan. A shot that you probably expect Magisk to land more often than not. He's had a lot of success with his 11 kills with that secondary AWP. But Fnatic keeping themselves just above the water. Brolan submerges Glaive, takes him into the deep waters in our last round, and looking to try and do more, and he does just that. It's a delayed, strange 1-by-1 formation back onto the site. Device puts the kill into Brolan, at least giving them an opportunity to get onto the plant, but now there's so low time that only one kill will seal the deal, and it's JW that goes in for the wide swing, takes down Device, and then finishes off Xyp9x with the Glock. Some success in after this, Dust 2 probably won't fare too well. Double grenades down onto Boxall. Jaquinho gets knocked down by Glaive. Was he mid-air during that frag, or was he the second player in? Not entirely sure. but it could have been an absolutely disgusting frag to pick up, and that will give way to the B site. Device at range takes off the head of Brolan, and now Zipex with the smoke, dispatching it towards the oil train. This will make it harder for Fnatic to go for that retake, and there is no flanking agent in effect either, so it'll have to be long-range incursions with the USPs. And it's unlikely that Astralis will pick too many times, but they actually have. And JW's just claimed the head of Zipex, actually giving Fnatic the player advantage now in this 2-on-3. And Magic's alongside Glaive are going to do very well to hold on to this site. Glaive has been absolutely punctured straight away, and Magic's has to try and clutch this 1-on-3. From the back of the site, he will strike with 2, and now we're playing the time. Crims has to tickle the bomb, and Magic's goes back in for more.
Early damage. I mean, they kind of revolutionized how HE grenades are used in the game. And that's an example of it again right there, just dunking on them, getting that kill onto Brolin, and JW and Crims are also bleeding out. JW now finished off.
Crims just running out of time, space, and HP, as it is the case. And Dupree has sprayed in for 1, will go in for an extra. He wants to double up, not just his frags, but additionally, he wants to get Astralis across to the 12th round mark.
A tad bit, though, with them having saved those 3 weapons over and being fairly conservative, it should be basically a full buy, including whatever AWPs that they want as well. Such a lead. Device is 1 away from 30, with at least 3 rounds more to play. And they're wasting no time this round, coming into Outer, looking to challenge that E-box position. It's an even trade thus far.
Well, the even trade has now been flushed away. JW takes out Glaive with the AWP headshot. But Device on the prowl, 29 kills in round 20. Unbelievable stats. Unbelievable impact he's had, and there's another one. He's landed the 30 bomb and 31 as they peek him to him 1 by 1. Device is on some kind of miracle play right now. Godly. Someone needs to take him down a peg or 2, but instead they just feed him, drip feed him more frags, and he'll happily.
Golden, this is a tough one. He's got the kid, he's got time. He's actually going up ladder. Device is going to hear this. Got the P250 ready to go, and Golden never could collect himself, and that's it.
Who's wrapping around the side thought better of that, and Zipex could have been a dead man. He could still find him yet. The Zipex is going to get the drop put in, but Golden actually puts him down and upgrades to the AK.
Now it's up to Magus and Glaive to try to reel this one back in, and Glaive's already been absolutely chunked down. Does have some space, sure, but that's about all he's got going for him. Magus is now meeting back up with him. He mollies off the ladder so he can try to focus up on Ivy in the back of Old Bomb Train. They're using their utility really well to at least get into sight and maybe even get a bomb plant. But they're running low on time. The push will come through. JW says nah, and Fnatic will
smoke down onto the Ivy side. This could be the green light forward. JW has been isolated. He is alone against 3. Can maybe use this smoke, though, as a bit of an opportunistic strike, but Magisk just pivots around and takes his head off. I thought it would at least be a 1-for-1. But with him falling down, there's now an opportunity for Astralis. They still are low on time, and Brolan with the spray on point, putting that orb to use. Crims now posted on the site, goes down to the hands of Glaive. Seemed confused and perplexed as to where the T's were coming in from. And in amongst that chaos, he gets finished off. And now Golden, who's made a lot of noise through on Pop Dog, is not long for this world. Astralis took their sweet time, but they struck the same.
Especially in this round, they have a Scout and an NP9 in play, and Glaive just dancing around the outer yard. They have no idea.
Now they do, but it's too little too late. Brolan's still lost his life. Glaive does go down to the hands of Chiquinho at least, so Fnatic do have the player advantage momentarily. And they can also upgrade some of those SMGs to Orgs, and they have an Org and a Scout, so it's looking pretty good. Chiquinho holding the line with the Org alongside Crims, and it leaves it to Device. The way he has been playing, though, do not write Device off. The Dane have a potential first map denial. God. He's actually bypassed the green train. Crims isolated from Golden. Golden gets found and fragged, but there's Crims, who's not expecting the second player up so close.
A retake ahead.
5-1 for retake. Not too much utility, but there is a lot of it centralized on Chiquinho. He has an Incendiary and a HE, the only ones at their disposal. Magisk playing up close. This is a position, especially with 5 players left, you expect to see someone in. Dupree, the backside of Boyle, deals with JW, goes in for second, and is successful. Magisk has been put down, courtesy of Brolan, but all the CTs are dwindling away, and Device has picked up his 39th frag. Crims will be trying to make moves up close right now, knows he's got no time, and Device fittingly puts the last nail in the coffin. Astralis get 16 for 10 and take down Fnatic's choice of trade.
Overall approach, as we see the CT's looking to get aggressive at middle, but it's been picked up upon by Device and Glaive, and they're taking care of it just fine.
Taking care of business, taking out the push. But Golden at least is going to return the favor with 2 kills and could be going in for a 3rd. They had a very slow start over on Train, but already showing that he's no slouch. Putting more damage down onto Glaive. Mages finally will put him out of his misery and get the avenging frag. But the bomb's been spilled out. Information gathered, and now Fnatic know they can push up 2 more plays up middle. Another 1-for-1 trade. And it's all about Brolan for me, because Crims is going to be going down to the hands of Dupree, and Brolan is trying to make moves up CT.
Out, but the problem is they have no smoke to cross, and Brolan is right here to deal with them. He's sending out pot shots, but they work together so well. And again, Astralis.
A possibility, albeit fleeting at best. 40 seconds, and he's just now moving up. 2 players watching, and it's Brolan with the M4 that pivots in first for the kill. And now Zipex will be picking up the slack with the Mac-10. They still got a bit of time to burn, but they have to be careful because the bodies are hitting the floor so quickly through Astralis, and the Danes have been decimated. Fnatic hold the line and keep 4 players alive. Flashbang up and over, and if they do focus too heavily on JW, that's where Crims can free himself up. The flashes are consistent, and they are on point. No bodies have yet been put down, but now the casualties are starting to rain in. The body count is maximizing for Fnatic, although Glaive is going to alleviate some of the pressure and goes in for another one. Dig didn't see it from his perspective, but Dupree's now going to get one of his own, and Glaive can maybe close this one out, but he's only on 3 HP, and Brolan will make sure that for a few rounds now, and already up middle. Double smokes on to wrap around. This puts so much pressure on JW. He at least gets 1, but that really won't be good enough. And Zipex, who's been waiting and anticipating this fast rotation, gets 2, and Dupree goes back out for the peak. Brolan is doing his best to hold on to the remnants of this round, and they realize peaking him at this point is...
If this doesn't work out, that it's kind of still tough, but he's going to see what he can do. Great angle here on the mage, just great headshot as well. It could happen now.
3k to Brolan, but time itself is beginning to tick away. An enemy device yet to get a kill, yet to get off the mark, but they not need to. Even with the kill, Brolan does not have enough time. He may not live to tell a tale. He was really very close, but does... Bit of deja vu as well from how Train started. It was very scrappy and close. Rough shape. Csgo does do enough damage to allow the team kill to take fruition, weakening up Dupree and finish off by Glaive. Brolan out the back of the site with 11 kills to his name. He's trying to rip through more and gets more. May not realize there's a player that's encircling him to his right-hand side, and Device is trying damn this to wrap all the way round from CT side. They were not anticipating this hold to be so powerful. Yeah, he's accelerating. A disappointing Train. They've bounced back with authority. Golden may be in the thick of it once this smoke clears. And instead, he will be choked out by Magisk's AK, and he spins in for 2. Beautiful, brisk entry frags.
Indeed, smoke for the cross as well. So it's going to really put that pressure on A side. It's going to draw a lot of rotations here over through CT spawn. There's a smoke for the cross, but there's a pretty wide gap right there that Astralis must navigate. But it certainly helps that Magus still has cap position to kind of help shoot in behind anyone who comes up the slope.
I am so surprised they're even going to long in the first place. They're actually potentially going for this, and that is the punishment. They've lost one of the 2 weapons, and JW desperately...
Help maybe from Magus who's towards lower tunnels. But JW smartly with the trigger discipline here, slipping in behind Glaive, making sure he never gets discovered, unless Magus somehow runs into him here at lower tunnel still. Again, more of a formality in a round like this if you're in Astralis' side of things. Not a whole lot Fnatic can really do or say about it. Their advantages have withered away, and now they will have to work hard in the following rounds. And here's the thing, Vince. In these last 20 games that Astralis have played on Dust 2, their CT side's actually been the one that's been favored. They are near a 60% win rate on the CT side in comparison to the T, where they're near 53%. So that's a pretty big leap, actually, in difference on a map that historically has usually been a pretty attacking favored, or at least a lot of opportunities for the attacking team. It can be very hard to have a high win rate on CT side because sometimes it can be very hard to read where the attack is coming from, right? Like
Csgo, aggression, peeking through on B apps. Grenade proceeds to push, but still lands the man of Dupree and goes in for more. They walk in 1 by 1, and Csgo, he is smurfing over on B site for this round. Device alongside Magisk remain, but JW should have them as soon as they come out of the smoke. Misses the shot that could allow them a little bit of safe passage. He backs away and baits in for Brolan again. JW nearly gets finished off by the Molotov, and in the meanwhile, Magisk moves through as there is actually A wall bang.
By here, but they're in trouble if they take a loss here in round 12. They've already taken a very heavy lick of damage on their key player at middle with that op shot. And now a 2-for-1 exchange gives Astralis long A control and man advantage. Vince, this is looking quite grim for Fnatic.
Yeah, they're just hemorrhaging plays. Device has gone in for 2 on middle as well. Peeking out onto Catwalk. This makes him a little bit more vulnerable, but it's only the AWP of Device against him. If it was the AK, probably goes down, but a great shot into the head of Device. There is going to be Zipex, though, making moves through alongside. Deny the bomb plant a little bit longer to allow the players to get into position to try and fend off this AWP. And JW tries to make it even more costly, but he walks in, pushing and prodding them, making them as uncomfortable as possible. And Dupree now moving through the smoke. They're looking for the boost, and Glaive takes off the head of Golden. Dupree just being careful as JW was hiding in the smoke. Oh, he's actually dinked him through the double doors. Device hasn't quite finished off the frag onto PROLEAGUE, but now the cavalry and the support has arrived, and it's Glaive. He's not satiated with his first headshot. He wants more, and he gets it. Astralis 8-5 lead. Still on the B side, which is Jaquinho. And of course, as ever, PROLEAGUE, who's got one already. Dipping off with a 15th frag, but now he has met his demise. Good Molotov placement will afford safe passes for Jaquinho for the time being. They're doing a really good job of holding the line. Another incendiary is now being tossed down with a Molotov, and Jaquinho has to force him to the back of the site and actually gets more kills. They hold on to the site against all the odds.
Big round here to determine who will have that control going into the second half. Glaive, his answer so far is it's going to be us. But this aggression on the long A tunnel with Crims could pose to be a problem, as the bomb is still down towards T-Spawn. Zipix the closest member to it. Timing will be everything, but Zipix is being so patient. In the meantime, Device is continuing to collect over towards middle and Cat. They have the 5-on-3 now. Crims, again, still not able to make his move. Now he does. He finds his man, but it feels like it's come too late, Vince. Yeah, he gets a kill back, but they're still down in the round. He has to give up the bomb. It's a tough ask.
He does go back out again, but Mage is just playing so passively. There's still 45 seconds left. They had every reason to just hold fire and see if he repeat that, try to wrap around the back of them. He didn't see the bomb in his first frag. That definitely hurt him. JW, though, at the back of the car is going to make it sting onto Magus. That's the bomb that's dropped down as well, but Molotov has been tossed in. Device goes 1-for-1. As here comes Jaquinho, a chance to tie it up, a chance to get real close come the second half. He's missing quite a few bullets, both players similar HP. Fake flash, not doing anything to the young Swede. He holds the line, but Dupree passes the bullet between his eyes. And as we move into the second half, try and congregate through CT's side. It depends on how well Glaive holds the line here. USP by his side, smoke goes into his eyes, has a smoke of his own to extinguish that molly, and also flash himself through. It's also biding enough time for the window player to peek in one too many times, but Dupree, that first headshot was a thing of beauty, but he can't finish off the rest. Crims and JW, last Swede standing, will be a post plant as JW rushes down the bomb. And Crims taking a fight at range while the rest of the CT start to try and spill around into tunnels. JW, big headshot onto Glaive, maybe going to peek out one more time, and JW need to wind back the clock and find some of that old form to clutch down against Device. It's a battle of the Titans, and there's such an important moment in this game. Device is hemorrhaging health, but still takes him down. And JW, I honestly thought he might have actually clutched that one out. Watching the cross with the MP9. Already anticipates he's going to be smoked off twice, but the thing with the run and gun style and an underarm grenade is this could slow and soften these targets so much. Waiting, perfect timing, and he gets the purchase. Not just the HE connects, but he sprays through the smoke and finishes off Jaquinho. Golden down to 1 HP. And they are struggling. Another HE tossed up and over. This could finish off Golden and denies the bomb plant just for a couple more seconds before it finally goes down. Crimstone pops back up again. Dangerous game of whack-a-mole and puts the Galil to use on Glaive. 3v3 as Zipex goes in again. It's so chaotic, but it's going the way of Astralis. And PROLEAGUE is a million miles away from clutching this round. He needs to purchase more frags. There's one looking for a second. They're defusing the bomb behind the sanctuary of the box. And with a kit, they will make it work. They stick the landing, and Astralis with a successful retake, and Salt in.
Another big round here. A big entry from PROLEAGUE onto Zipix. Fnatic trying to build something here off the back of that previous round. It's a good start here in round 20. Glaive, though, trying to challenge at middle. Only good for one with the UMP. Device trying to get assertive here on Catwalk. Not going to find his man. Maze just did, but now he's left all alone. He's going to have to be a true magician to pull one out here. And unfortunately for him,
I think we're going to see a wraparound potentially, but still plenty of time, so they can decide to change their options, so should they feel like maybe B isn't the right call after all.
Yeah, big entry from Crims. Like you said, the options will be left open for them with so much time left. But Glaive, the aggress through the smoke at spawn, that's a big pickup. It gets the advantage back for Astralis. And now Mag just pops off at B as well. They're staying out in front. Vincent Golden's so low on health.
Very low on health. Crims may need to do all the heavy lifting for this round. Golden basically sacrificing himself to the CS gods to get this plant down. He will instantly get repelled afterwards. Crims 1-on-3, and Device with the quick wide swing from window. And pushed them away it has, but he's lost quite a bit of his health in the process.
Yeah, it hasn't been a free fight by any stretch of imagination. It's come at a cost, but we do see Xyp9x is still maintaining control of long A. Astralis still has, you know, good ideas about where the T's are positioned. Xyp9x, though, is stranded. He doesn't have any support, though Dupree has some flashes he could throw from the corner. If Xyp9x starts to feel a little bit of heat, that's a perfectly timed HG grenade. He's going to absolutely stuff them in the doors.
3 kills for Xyp9x and looking for more. JW's been smacked down to 7 HP. He has to just turn away and run for the hills. There's a monster looming overhead, and it's Astralis.
Indeed, 2 big kills. And it's just continuing to go in their favor as they're starting to even stop Astralis from saving over weapons after they've already conceded the round. Which is huge because it's not like Astralis' economy is that built up. So dropping all these weapons is actually going to put them in a spot where trying to buy out this next round might be ill-advised. I mean, there's definitely enough money to do it, but do they really want to with this big of a lead? You know, Glaive and Device would be a little bit strained. Xyp9x could drop out the Device. He does have the money for it. He could still armor up and get dropped at M4. So there are some options out there for Astralis to still put the full purchase, but it's one of those things where if they do go for it here and now and it doesn't work out, they could round. Meanwhile, though, this gives Fnatic that opportunity to keep chomping at the bit, to keep shrinking that gap on the scoreboard.
I think it especially makes sense because it felt like the course correction moment was when they got the double ops in play for Astralis. Right, though, going in that round particularly leaves a couple of players bare, and he definitely can't get the double ops.
This is the problem, Vince.
Has got an AK, yeah, and this is becoming a real issue for Fnatic. They've already lost 2 players. Golden's tagged down to 30.
And Dupree has middle. They have no fallback option. They are bottlenecked into A. They have to commit to this. And again, there's an AK on Glaive. There's Deagles aplenty elsewhere. Golden's low. This is a real big issue.
Xyp9x with a Deagle on the cross, tries to fall back. There's a gap in the smoke, but it doesn't get punished. He just needs to stay alive. He knows that rotational play is coming in, and Dupree with the Deagle is putting down damage, death, and decay. Alongside Xyp9x, Fnatic had a golden opportunity. That's fair enough, but there's going to be a flashbang into middle. This time Glaive isn't playing it. It's Xyp9x instead. Based off spawns, Glaive had the best spawn for long, and Xyp9x tries to thread the needle through middle. And he doesn't just do that, he threads the first frag. In doing so, alleviates some of the pressure that's been building up on the B side now. Utilities being tossed in. They have to be wary and cognizant of the fact that Xyp9x could push through the CT side at any given moment. And this is isolating Golden from the rest of his team, and that's the bomb that's gone down. The bomb's dropped outside of B, though. It goes from bad to worse, and they need entries desperately. Crims is the man for the job. Takes off the head of Dupree, and now Magic's stuck at the back of the car. Gonna try and maneuver himself into a potential clutch. Down go Fnatic, and Astralis take both maps 16-10.
A dominant performance from Astralis. We'll break it all down and hear from the men themselves over on the Danish side after a short break. Stay tuned.